In continuity of our lecture series of textual analysis of the drama Macbeth, and in our last lecture we have discussed the first scene of act second of this drama. Now we'll come to scene second of act second. So just to remind you all the major action that occurred in the previous scene, that after Lady Macbeth convinced Macbeth to murder King Duncan, Macbeth walks towards King Duncan's chamber, who is sleeping there in the castle of Macbeth. So there he visualized an elusive dagger which is leading Macbeth towards that chamber, and that's why that previous scene of act second is also called as dagger scene. So in the last scene we have seen that Macbeth is walking towards King Duncan's chamber to murder him. So that was the action that took place in the previous scene. So now we come to scene second of act second. So from where this scene will start, we'll see that Macbeth has accomplished the action of murdering King Duncan. So now I'm sharing the text of scene second, act second. So as you can see on the screen, this is act second, scene second, and this is the scene is set in courtyard of Macbeth's castle. Enter Lady Macbeth. So the scene starts with Lady Macbeth. Lady Macbeth, that which hath made them drunk hath made me bold. So Lady Macbeth says that which here, which is referred to the liquor, the wine. So the liquor which has intoxicated the servants. So that which had made them drunk. So them here is referred to the servants or the guards. So the liquor which has intoxicated the servants hath made me bold, and that same liquor has armed me with courage and boldness. So here Lady Macbeth is trying to emphasize that the liquor which has intoxicated the servants, the same liquor has made her bold and courageous. What had quenched them hath given me fire. So what has made them senseless has incited me to fiery action. Hark, peace. So hark means listen. So she hears a noise. Listen, hush. Peace means keep quiet. It was the owl that shrieked, the fatal bellman. So she hears the shrieking noise of an owl. So it was the hooting of an owl, and it is a fatal bellman, means an ominous bird which seemed to be giving a goodbye to Duncan, which gives the sternest good night. He is about it. The doors are open, and the surfeited grooms do mock their chairs with snows. And she says that I can hear the hooting of an owl, and it is an indication that King Duncan has died. So this owl is a bellman which bids goodbye to King Duncan and the condemned person before his execution. And she says that Macbeth must be doing the deed now. Here that you can see in the text, he is about it. He is referred to Macbeth, means he is doing the deed, means he is now in the proceeding of that action. The doors are open, and the doors are open. The doors of King Duncan's chamber are opened, and the surfeited grooms do mock their charge with snows, and the drunken attendants, surfeited means drunken, grooms means attendants, are heavily sleeping on their post regardless of their duty, because these guards have been intoxicated by Lady Macbeth. I have drugged their posets. The death and nature do contend about them. I have added such a fatal drug to their drinks that there is now a struggle between life and death in them. So it means they are so intoxicated that they don't have any kind of sense what's going on there. Macbeth, within. Who is there? What ho? Now Macbeth says, within started out his presence of mind by some noise he heard or fancied he heard. So Macbeth heard a kind of noise, and now he says, who is there? Or what is that? Lady Macbeth, alack, I am afraid they have awaked, and it is not done. Now Lady Macbeth replies, hearing that cry, and she says, alack, alack means alas, I am afraid they have awaked. And she says that I am afraid that they have awoke. There here is referred to those attendants or the guards. So I am afraid they have awaked, and it is not done, and I have a kind of doubt that our deed has not been completed. Means the murdering of King Duncan has not been completed because the guards have been awakened. Confounds us. Hark, I laid their daggers ready. He could not miss them. Had he not resembled my father as he slept, I had done it. So, if it remains merely an attempt and the deeds is not done, we shall be ruined. So Lady Macbeth says that if our task is not completed, then our future would be ruined. Listen. Hark means listen. I laid their daggers ready. I laid their daggers ready. He could not miss them, and I'm sure he could not have missed them. Had he not resembled, has he not resembled my father as he slept, I had done it. And Lady Macbeth says that I would have myself murdered King Duncan if he had not resembled my father as he lay asleep. Enter Macbeth. My husband. Macbeth, I have done the deed. Didst thou not hear a noise? Lady Macbeth. Now Macbeth says, I have murdered the king. Means I have done the deed means I have murdered the king. Did you not hear a noise? Lady Macbeth. I heard the owl scream and the crickets cry. And Lady Macbeth replies that I heard the shrill hoot of the owl and the cry of crickets. Did you not speak? Did you not speak? Macbeth, when? Lady Macbeth, now. Macbeth, as I descended. Lady Macbeth, I. Macbeth, hark. So, there is an exchange of questions and replies between these two. Macbeth, hark. Now Macbeth says, listen. Who lies in the second chamber? And he says that, listen, who is lying in the second chamber, or who is sleeping in the second chamber? Lady Macbeth. Now Lady Macbeth replies that it is, or that person is Donalbain. Donalbain is the younger son of King Duncan. Macbeth, this is a sorry sight looking on his hands. Now Macbeth looks at his hands and says that it is a very silly, or it is a very sorrowful sight, or this is a dismal sight. Lady Macbeth, a foolish thought to say a sorry sight. Lady Macbeth replies that it is silly to say so, or to talk like this. Macbeth, there is one did laugh in sleep, and one cried murder. Now Macbeth says that when pursuing his own train of thoughts or series of thoughts, he replies that one seemed to have laughed in the sleep, and other cried murder. That they did wake each other, and they awakened each other. I stood and heard them, but they did say their prayers and addressed them again to sleep. I stood and listened to them. They offered their prayers, and they again retired to sleep.